Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. Listen, if you hear noise in the background, my kids are having some fun. So just bear with me on this one. I want to talk to you about setting your goals. We always do, but I want you to set them in a way that you're going to be able to break them down so that you can actually accomplish them. It's a document I made in 2018, 2019, right before COVID hit, just a couple of years. And I created it for me. I created it because I was a little bit confused as to how to break down goals that I wanted to achieve in an attainable way in a living document that I would be able to go back, change, adapt, grow. And so I simply created this. I first called it the blueprint, right? Blueprint. And I'm like, hey, you know what? It sounds too business-like. So I just renamed it a few years ago, the process. And I remembered, the idea behind the process is that you're always growing and you're always going through things. So you're going to change through this process. And it's similar to a sports analogy where, follow the process, trust the process, and so forth. So what I want to go through is something super simple. You're going to pick your priority or your goal. Thank you. You're going to pick your priority or your goal, and I want you to be able to break them down into actionable steps that go into your calendar. We've talked about this before quite a few times. And so if you need the document, yes, I have it. And this has been for me the biggest secret to being able to accomplish things long term. Because anytime I get a little bit lost, I go back to my process for that specific priority or that specific goal. So let's say you have a goal of, let's make it a business goal. You have a goal of achieving $200,000 this year. Let's say that's going to be your goal, and it's a financial one. Okay, let's keep it to real estate. And so that's going to be the goal. I want to achieve $200,000 by the end of December 31st, 2025. And you want to do it always, every single time, right? When it comes to this type of goal, you want to do it in a way that focuses on your strengths. Why focus on anything else? So, okay, I got you. Here are my strengths. And I'm going to say I want to achieve my goal of $200,000 by December 31st, 2025 by focusing on, let's say your strengths are on referrals from my sphere, social media, and maybe online leads, right? So you've broken it down. And if you don't know, then don't worry. It's going to go down to the next one where you're going to choose the 3 things that you're going to focus on to achieve what you want to do. The thing that we do the worst, by the way, when we're highlighting goals or outlining goals is that we write out our goal. And then we never take the time to break it down into actionable steps that make it happen. So in essence, this is what we're doing. You have your goal. Now I want you to make the strategy. So here they are. What's your strategy? Well, your strategy is going to be, since you're going to focus on your strengths and maybe one that you want to explore, you're going to say, well, I want to focus on these 3 things. And you're always going to start with 3 things, right? Here you go. Number 1 is going to be focusing on your referrals from your sphere. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be social media, right? And we're going to break this down. And number 3 is going to be online leads. So let's go to number 1. Number 1, you're going to pick 3 things under that. So it's going to be 1 priority, right? What we picked, 3 strategies. And then under each strategy, you're going to pick 3 action steps, and the action steps are going to go into your calendar. Now, the cool thing is the action steps that you choose, they're going to change along the way. This is what makes it a process. The process is always changing and adapting and growing, because so are you. So now you're going to pick the 3 action steps under your referrals from your sphere. Number 1, you're going to say, what am I going to do this year? Right? Am I going to tweak something that was already working this year? Yeah, probably. You're great at sending handwritten notes. And you know what? You want to maybe up it a little bit. You've been sending 1 a quarter and you've been sending to about 30 people. Well, now you're going to choose maybe double that. You're like, I got this. I figured this out. I'm going to now send 60 handwritten notes every quarter instead of 30. That's number one. Number two, well, I have been calling and texting them. But you know what? I would love to maybe text them a little bit more with a little bit of a different value. What would that value look like? Right? I wonder if I should invite more people to coffee, or maybe to a lunch, or maybe to an event that you have. I don't know. But for me, it would be, I love going out to coffee. So I'll probably invite those people. And I already have the date for me. For me, it's Mondays in the afternoon. You'll always find me at a local coffee shop or at Barnes & Noble's, where I have a 3-hour meeting gap. And that's where I line up everybody. It's Monday afternoon. That's where you find me. So for me, it's texting my core sphere and my referral sphere, and just letting them know, hey, you want to have coffee, Barnes & Noble's, or Ragamuffin, Newbury Park, or whatever. For you, what's it going to be, right? Is it more text to invite, or more text with value-driven content, like you take time in the morning to look at articles? You're going to send those out to your core sphere and let them know about real estate, or is it going to be something different? I don't know. But you're going to put it there, right? Number 3, under your sphere, right? Under your core sphere there. Referrals from your sphere. Number 3 is probably going to be, maybe in that core sphere, maybe you're going to itemize them. You're like, you know what? I'm going to do a better job categorizing my core sphere. I'm going to maybe now do the old Buffini thing, right? A, B, C, D. And I'm going to say A's, I'm going to treat them very differently now. In a way, I'm going to love a lot on them, a lot more. I'm going to build a Facebook community. I don't know, maybe invite them to more local events that I do, or invite them to my house. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to pick one thing. Don't go crazy on this, because that's the one action step that you're going to put into your calendar, right? And for this round, let's just say you're going to categorize them and you're going to put a meaning behind A, B, C, D. Like, what does that mean? A is going to be, maybe they referred 2 clients to you. Maybe that's the minimum. B is they referred 1 in the last 5 years. I don't know. But the point is, now you've got 3 things, right? You've got those 3 itemized things, and they're actionable things you're going to put into your calendar. This right here, this next step, is the step that we always miss. We completely forget about it, and it never hits the target. So what I want you to do is, now that you've got those 3 things, put them into your calendar. What day are you going to work on them, right? The first one is going to be, let's see. We're going to work on it on Sunday morning for 2 hours. Maybe it's too much time. Maybe it's too little, but I'm going to leave it there. The next one, number 2, under that referral for my sphere. Number 2, I'm going to put on Thursday in the afternoon, maybe 6 to 7:30, because I see I have a time there. And I'm going to work on that. And number 3, where I'm going to take time to categorize and maybe identify that, I'm going to probably use ChatGPT to give me some ideas. And I really want to work on it next week. And it's probably going to be maybe on Tuesday the following week. And I'm going to put I think I'll get it done in about an hour, let's say. And so now I've got all 3 put into my calendar. And as I start achieving them, or maybe I didn't finish, I can continue it to the following day or the next week. Once it's done, guess what? I go back to this document. By the way, if you need the document, just message me on Instagram. I go back to the document, cross it off, or start a new document with a new look. I'm sorry, not a new look, with a new section right there. I usually just cross it off and write it in, but I have it on my iPad, so I can just erase it and put the new piece under that action. The point is, it's a living document. This is going to be changing throughout the whole year, right? This is going to be your main, that's why I called it blueprint originally. This is going to be your main blueprint to everything that you do this coming year for your business specifically, or you can use this for anything. So now you're going to go to the second thing, right? And the second thing was social media. You're going to go through the exact same process. Listen, we can go through this for a long time, but these are meant to be short. So let me know if you want me to expand on anything, and have an awesome day. We'll talk again tomorrow.